Hi, this is the first video on Tony's garage, and today we are going to be fixing the hood of this red snapper, I think it is, snapper. And from what happened is someone hit something and the hood quite literally will move, and like you cannot really open it, and if it does, it sags down to like one side. So I'm gonna be taking it off and probably trying to repair it. One of the first things I need to do is unplug this connector, which I'm going to do that real quick. Which I don't know. So I got the connector unconnected. That's right there. Next I gotta undo those two bolts. Now, since the plastic piece is broken, I don't have to do these two bolts like right there. So I'm gonna get started with those two. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna take out the rest of the bolts and take off the hood. Okay, now the hood's off the mower, which now is the interesting part where I have to try to fix the cracks and all that, which I think the next thing I'll do is take out the bolts right there and try to get the plastic piece off that goes to the hood right there, and somehow like metal glue it or plastic glue it somehow together. So I'm gonna have to take out these two bolts real quick and we're good. If I can plastic weld them back together. Okay, done. So now from that I have this plastic piece which goes to the inside of the hood right there, which I'm gonna have to either plastic weld it or do something to make it go back together. And if I have time, which I probably do, I'll try to fix that huge crack in the front. Put your bolts back where you got them, if possible, and just so then you know where they are at all times. One thing I just figured out is this bar is supposed to fit like right in between there, which like I'll put it on real quick. It fits in perfectly right there, but oh wait, it does now. Earlier what would happen is this would hit on this washer right here, which I'm pretty sure means that this is bent out, but it's probably because I had the plastic piece that was right here. So what I might have to do is when I put the plastic piece back on, I'm gonna have to hammer this piece of metal in, and maybe on this side also, because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be straight, not crooked as they are on both sides, from I'm guessing someone hitting this front over here and pushing it in. At first glances when looking at this hood, I realized that there's some like plastic staples or whatever. You heat up the plastic and it will, or not plastic, heat up the metal with like a special tool and it will put the plastic together, but it seems like it didn't hold up well. And there's also these bolts which I am going to remove which there is 6, 7, 8. 8 bolts, or 12? Wait. 10. 10 bolts, nuts and bolts, which requires this Torx, which is like a star looking thing. And I'm just going to use the adjustable wrench. Probably not the best thing to use, but hey, if it works, it works. So from what I learned after taking apart most of the bolts, which I left those down there and those right there, is some of it was repaired. This piece was new, it seems like, because there's no repair to it, because all these other ones have like metal staples in it to help like hold it together, but this one doesn't have it, which this was already coming apart. So yeah, I'm gonna have to somehow put this all together again, and then this piece fits in like perfectly almost for when it's aligned. So this piece, when it got hit, I'm guessing someone hit it from below and broke it. I'll find what to do. So it's been a decent bit. I haven't been filming because it's kind of hard with one hand. Or I don't know. So what I did is I just used some hot glue. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I hot glued everything together, all the cracks and all that. It holds up pretty well. Like, I can quite literally like move the entire thing with just this piece that was completely broken earlier. And like, here's the other side, which was already together just fine. Like, I put some glue in all the cracks. Everything's holding together just fine. I'm gonna put on these brackets again, even though it might be fine without it, but just in case, I'm gonna add them. Like, over here, they had staples also, or whatever that they were using, and I put some glue in it to help, like, reinforce it, which should make this better. And there's a bracket that goes on right there, which I'm gonna install. Yeah, there are some pieces missing though that I don't have, so there's not much I can do about that. I'll just stick with like what I got. And it's not perfect, I know, but if it works, it works, and I'm not gonna complain. Okay, so it's been another little bit. I installed all the brackets on. Some of them, before they were all sticking on the outside, some of them I stuck on the inside, which looks better in my opinion. But now it's time to also bend that straight, which you can tell just from, or for me, I can see that like that's straight, like that's crooked right there, and that one's out a little, not as much as that one. So this one I'm gonna pound in a decent bit, which that should be good enough, and then I'm gonna pound, and that should be good enough. They're not perfectly straight, which is fine because I don't think they're supposed to be, but if it works, it works. Okay. So I'm gonna install the hood, which I think I gotta install the bracket on first, which it's not really installing. It's as simple as sliding that in and look, it's installed. But which I'm gonna move this plug as far as I can out of the way, and I'm gonna have to pull out these bolts that I put back in its original location just so I didn't lose them. But I have to take them out so then I can install the hood in place, which is fine. It's not exactly hard. But like, now I gotta pick up the hood and install it into place. Okay, that's in place. Oh. Oh shit. Oh. Well, that fix didn't last long. Well, my quote-unquote fix did not work, so I'm gonna have to like do something else to make it work. Now, what will I do? I don't know. Unless if I keep this right there, because the bracket goes right there, maybe shove a bolt running all the way through to the body, but problem with that is it has threads on the metal that goes right there. So if there's threads, I can't really do much. I'd have to have a bolt that has matching threads, but it seems like this thing uses metric bolts, which all my bolts are standard. So I don't know. Figured something out. So it's been a bit later, and I got the hood on, but something happened where this thing that I hot glued together for the plastic piece broke from the hood again. But what I did to fix that, which actually worked pretty well, is there's a hole to this bolt bracket already, so I pulled out the bolt and grabbed a longer bolt and stuck it through, and then stuck a nut on the back, and then I had this other one I think it was a scooter, and the plastic broke down there, and I just put that right there and then ran the bolt side through it. It's like a sleeve for it that runs to up against this metal, and the screw goes in through there and into that tube, which it like when I tightened this, it pinched it together, and it works. I think it might be better than before, but like closes and opens, and it's not like sagging to the side anymore, so I count that as fixed, but it's definitely not the proper way to do it. But now the last thing I have to do is plug in the light, and that should be good. And I don't know what this cable thing is for this. I don't know what this is supposed to be for, but it's okay because I probably don't need it. But my only guess for what it would be is to like close the hood or to hold the hood from opening all the way. Which it might go like right there. Or no, because it's either from manufacturing or something like that. So that might push onto something, but everything's together. It works. So I think that's it for this video, even though it's going to be probably a 10-minute video from everything I got, but it works. I don't know. I guess that's it for this